Just a small town girl living in a lonely world.
What's that?
My mic?
It's episode 2 and you're already making changes?
Listen here, all right? I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm the talent.
Right.
Okay. Well, you know what? You can be jealous all you want because size does matter. All right, let's do this. Hi, I'm Wes.
Hi, I'm Dennis, and welcome to Petrol Station, your one-stop shop for cheap opinions and cheaper conversation. All right, you want to get started?
I do. First topic of discussion here today. Cars that have 500 horsepower or more, are they necessary?
No, absolutely not.
See, yeah, you have an opinion and I have my opinion. Right.
All right, well, let's start with yours.
Okay. My opinion is if you got the money, yeah, why not have a 500 horsepower plus car?
Okay, so counter to that, let's look at the Hellcats. Right? So you get a Charger, you get a Challenger.
The boat on wheels?
Well, absolutely. You know, honestly, I think Dodge just increases the weight on those cars just for traction. But you think about it, you spend, what were they? MSRP 65 to 85, brand new.
Probably more than that, actually, nowadays.
I mean, they don't make them anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The electric kitty is what's coming out next.
The Hell Kitten.
The Hell Kitten.
But yeah, you know, $65 to $85,000 for a 700 horsepower car, and you know, then you can do the red eye package, which I think was $797, and then they started that whole, you know, Dodge aftermarket tuning thing where you're essentially getting tuned by Dodge, and you can get up to 800, and then, you know, I think the Demon was 900 to 1,000, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
But I mean, look, let's just stick to the Hellcats, right? 707 horsepower. To drive that daily doesn't make any sense. They get like 12 miles to the gallon. That's just going to kill your wallet.
The best.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Going downhill with the wind at your back.
Yeah. You're spending more on gas than you are on oil changes.
Right. But also, where are you going to use it?
I mean,
stoplight to stoplight?
Yeah. I think around here, especially, you know, again, for everybody that doesn't know, we live in the Austin area. That's Austin, Texas, not anywhere else. We live in that area, and around here, yeah, there's too much traffic to do anything with more than 500 horsepower. Because I mean, for us, you know, we've had both, right? We've had both we've had the Mustangs, we've had cars with four cylinder.
I had a 700 horsepower Mustang.
You had a 700 horsepower Mustang. We've kind of had them both worlds, right? And then when I'm talking about like cars to drive that are enjoyable, I would say 350 horsepower would probably be my like sweet spot, because that's enough power where I can get a small car with a smaller engine, have a more nimble car around here. But that's not to say that cars like that in Utah, places that don't have as much traffic, big highways, stuff like that, that they can just go rip down, you know, interstate. I think it'd be worth it to have it there. But like here, you know, we feel like it's not necessary here because of what we see every single day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think even in the area where you could, you know, really open the taps, take advantage of all that horsepower, take advantage of the top speed that comes with. I mean, you may be able to get away with that once or twice, and then eventually you're going to wind up on the wrong road with, you know, a cop and end up going to jail just because you wanted to flex on your
flex on the haters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, like me personally, I love the way that the Challengers and Chargers, the previous Challengers and Chargers look, especially the wide body cars. But I wouldn't buy a Hellcat. Scat Pack, that would be a good car, especially with like a 6-speed transmission. That would be a fun car to drive, and you don't have to worry about maintenance on the blower. You don't have to worry about an extra belt. You don't have to worry about extra equipment being attached to your engine that could possibly fail. I mean, it's a Dodge.
If that's not going to go, it's going to be the computer.
Yeah. Or the transmission. Or the rear end.
Or the panels.
Or you get the Hemi tick, and the only thing that works is the supercharger.
Yeah, can we talk about, real quick, I just want to go over something that you said last episode. How bland the Teslas look, and you're talking about how good the Hellcats look when they all look like the exact same boat driving down the road.
But they have curves. There's actual body lines. You look at a Tesla, it is a anonymous blob going down the road.
The wide body. If you don't get the wide body, you look like every basic Challenger V6 driving down the road. And unless you have a badge that says 392 or a Hell Kitten badge, you look like a basic.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Still better than a Tesla.
You don't like bland looking cars, but you like the Dodge.
Still looks way
It
better
is
than
what it
Tesla.
is. Beg to differ.
I
Anyways,
would take a
can
mini.
we take a poll? I'm going to take a poll on the channel after this episode airs where we're going to see which one is more basic, the Tesla or the Challenger. Yeah. You're going to lose.
Probably. So, okay, let's move away from the Dodge conversation. Let's talk about horsepower horsepower in general. I think anything past 500, maybe 550 is just pointless. I think with 500-ish horsepower in that range, you could still have a great driving car, a fun car to drive, and that can still be used to, go out and have some spirited runs, but you're not making so much horsepower that you're no longer able to easily maneuver the car through a turn. I mean, the problem with having that much horsepower on a basic city street is that even if you do get an opportunity to open it up, you're going to outpower yourself. And in most cases, with most people who can't afford those cars and end up buying them,
throwing them into a tree.
Yeah, they end up, having less driver and more car.
Yeah.
I would say a perfect example of decent horsepower, great driving car, great handling car, Mustang GT350.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. And we go back again, prime example of the Mustang. When you get to that kind of horsepower in a Mustang, one, it isn't the easiest car to drive at that horsepower. Even at the base horsepower, it's not a great car to drive. It's fun, but it's a muscle car. It doesn't handle as good as, say, like a Porsche 911. It doesn't handle as good as an all-wheel drive Subaru WRX STI at that horsepower. Those kind of cars, again, that takes, it's not going to be stock. It's going to take some time to get there. But I feel like it also depends on, when we talk about whether or not it's worth having a 500 horsepower car, is it's based off of the actual car. So like GT350, that's a super, or not super, it's a souped up Mustang that has a lot more suspension in it. It has, different upgrades that make it a lot more drivable.
Yeah, better
car.
suspension, Magna Ride, bigger.
But it goes back to show, if you have a car that is equipped with 500 horsepower that can handle that kind of horsepower, I'm sure it'd be fun. For me, I don't have that experience. I'm sure I'd be happier than a witch's titty on Christmas if I had a Porsche 911 to be able to drive around in this kind of state and be able to have 500 plus horsepower in an all-wheel drive car, because they're all-wheel drive, right? 911s?
I think most of them are.
Yeah. Anyways, if they're not, I still feel like they have enough quality parts and suspension upgrades and things to make it where you can actually drive that car and enjoy it day to day.
Well, absolutely, because that car is specifically built, tuned, and engineered to be really good.
But Hector's fucking Civic that has 500 horsepower and
a spoon engine.
And a spoon engine, yeah. With what else was the list of parts?
I just went in there, and Hector is gonna be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines, and on top of that, he just came into Harry's and he ordered 3 T66 turbos with NOS and a Motec system exhaust.
That to me would be undrivable. It'd be fun on the drag strip where you can just go in a straight line. But trying to drive something like that day to day would be a terrible driving experience.
Well, and look, I think here's where the problem really lies, especially my generation that grew up with the original Fast and the Furious. All we ever got taught was more horsepower, more horsepower, more horsepower. But when you got to the point where cars were rolling off the showroom floor with 700 plus horsepower, that's just too.
Yeah, well, you got to remember, when Fast and the Furious came out, a lot of horsepower was 300 plus. That was pushing the limits on some of these engines, back in the 2000s. So, I mean, I think it goes back to show, one, the times we're in, and the amount of horsepower we can shove into some of these engines that we have now, make it a lot more accessible in a lot of different cars, but at the same time, yeah, doesn't make sense in that car. Sure, the Mustang's fun, but again, we hear every single weekend another wreck from another Mustang owner because they don't know how to drive those cars and they have way too much horsepower on a car that's not really should be equipped with that much horsepower.
Agreed. And not to just hate on Mustangs.
No, we owned them, so we can.
Well, true. But I mean, look, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, they're all awesome. They're beautiful cars. But yeah, when you see, the ones ripping down, they have a UPR logo on the back of them and the bumpers ripped off and you can see the full twin turbo setup on the back of it. You just know that car is ending up in a wall at some point in its life.
Or Calvo's Garage, not sponsored. You're welcome for the sponsorship or for the shout out. Hopefully that gets you some kind of business. I don't know. Call us, please. We miss you.
Yes.
We should have phoned a friend when we were talking about this because he has a lot of cars over 500 horsepower. Pretty sure he doesn't own a car that's less than 500 horsepower.
I'm pretty sure he has a lot of cars that are over 1,000.
Well, no, I'm saying like he doesn't own a car under 500. Like even his minivan that he bought with the twins is probably, again, this probably isn't going to go in, but
I think he's got a Maverick.
Oh yeah, he does have a Maverick. We got twin turbos on that bitch.
Probably coming.
Part of that.
Yeah,
I just want to watch.
Yeah, I just want to watch it. Billet block. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Just mind your business if I'm in a corner.
Lights down low.
Lights down low. One, it goes back to the car itself, but two, the driver. It goes back to people that have these cars that shouldn't really have these cars that, are at a point in their life where they can't afford these cars. And they're just buying them because, one, they're pretty accessible, like I said previously with, like, again, going back to the Charger and Challengers. The Hellcat, you can get a used Hellcat for almost probably 40 grand, 50 grand nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Which is pretty obtainable for most people. And so for those kind of people that can obtain those but don't know necessarily how to drive those cars, that's the ones that end up in the wall. And they, spin out at red lights. Man, I saw a Challenger the other day, like, try to do a U-turn and, like, hit the gas too hard and almost went into the ditch.
No, that was a street takeover.
Yeah.
I will say, and
that's the conversation we need to have.
Yeah. Well, that's a different video. Before everybody jumps in the comment section and starts ripping us.
Or do, because I will fight you.
Yeah, he's scrappy and moody. There are exceptions to the rule, though. Like, you look at the Ford GT, 600-ish horsepower, fantastic handling car, built-in electronics to help keep it planted. McLarens. I mean, the biggest thing about the McLarens is 700, 800, 900 horsepower cars, but amazing computer systems that help keep it on the ground, help keep traction, help keep all four tires spinning in the direction that they should. The GTR.
But you're not dailying any of those cars.
No, not at all. GTR maybe, depending on what year.
Have you sat in a GTR?
But here's the deal. All of that, like all of those cars that we just listed, amazing onboard nannies that keep the driver pointing in the direction that they want to go. Dodge Challenger, Dodge Charger, Hellcats, not so much. Maybe they'll cut some fuel and some timing, but they're not going to be able to go directional on power.
No, you really have to know how to drive those cars. And you also have to know how to throw weight. And I don't think a lot of people understand that when it comes to the Challengers and Chargers and how much weight they actually hold. Like, you have to throw the weight around. And people don't understand that when you throw a back end bag, that weight is gonna go with it, and like they just like overcorrect. Yeah, pick you with a bat here, but yeah, like they don't understand that, and they overcorrect, oversteer, and go straight into a wall because they don't know how to drive it. And I think that's what it goes back to. A lot of these cars that we're talking about, even like in the McLaren level, they're great, and they give you a lot of leeway when it comes to drivability.
But they can only compensate for a bad driver so much.
Compensate for so much, and a lot of these people that can afford these cars are not true drivers. And it's unfortunate because you see all the time on Instagram, TikTok, pour one out for the homie in case they go away.
Yep.
That, they throw them into wall. It's not as, you don't hear it as often as like some like Mustangs and Challengers because they're not as common.
Right. There's a lot more on the street. That's why you hear more about them.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it comes back to as well. For daily drivers, McLaren would be so cool. GTR would be amazing to have. But would you be daily driving that car? No, absolutely not. You're not daily driving a Ford GT. Those are cars that you take out on the weekends here and there. You're not putting miles on them. So
cars and coffee.
Yeah, I mean, again, it goes back to
10 events with high-end dinners.
Yeah, if I was to look at a 500 horsepower car that I would want to daily drive, it would have to be a hatchback. It would have to be all-wheel drive. And the only thing I can think of that would be anywhere remotely near that, for what I would want, would be like an Audi RS or what is it? Audi RS7 or RS5, something like that.
Sure.
The higher horsepower, like all-wheel drive sedans. So the BMW M3. The Audi, the Mercedes AMG, the higher, all-wheel drive cars that can handle, again, something that I can obtain would be those kind of cars. And even then I can't obtain them because I'm broke. But I really need those Patreons, guys.
Yeah. I really need those sponsors.
I really need those sponsors trying to Trying to make a race car.
Trying to pay bills.
Hyundai Velocity. But yeah, like it would be really cool. I think again, if I could find a car like that does have 500 horsepower that I could daily, it would have to be an all-wheel drive. It'd have to be something that can handle the horsepower without having to have the electronics that all these $800 to $1 million cars have.
Yeah.
That you would, be kind of, the most plug and play where you can just get in and drive it, and not have to worry about it.
I like it. Ready to move on?
As I'll ever be.
Okay. So I have a topic.
You know what? What's your topic, Dennis?
All right. So you and I, from Texas, born and raised.
Yep.
We have pretty much grown up our entire lives groomed in the belief that pickup trucks are the best, ultimate family vehicle daily driver. Even if you don't really need one, you own a pickup truck because it's Texas.
Yeah.
And with that ingrained in our brains as it is as everybody else in this state, don't get me wrong, I like a good pickup truck, but as a daily vehicle, I'm going to throw it out there. It doesn't make any sense. It's absolutely pointless. They're horrible on gas. They're way too big. And the thing that drives me nuts the most is most of the people who have these large pickup trucks and these huge SUVs like the Expedition, the Suburbans, I'm throwing the Tahoes, the Escalades. They can't park them at all.
Well, no, that's the stipulation. You buy that car and you can park it wherever you want because, little dick energy. But yeah, no, I agree. I think, it doesn't make sense unless, again, I've always been a firm believer, you don't own a pickup truck unless you need one. Yeah, would it be nice to have a small pickup truck like a Tacoma or a Ford Ranger, to put around town and like pick things up and like take things from Home Depot home? Sure. It'd be nice.
Small pickups, Tacomas, Rangers, Mavericks, like
massive,
those make sense.
These massive F-250s and that have never seen a lick of frickin' mud.
None.
That are work trucks. Yeah, you can. Because I am so tired of seeing a truck that has a construction magnet on it that has never seen a lick of mud.
No.
Tired of it. Don't own a truck if you don't use it.
Yeah, you don't buy the King Ranch edition to go to the construction site.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
You don't buy the freaking Ford Raptor. Okay, you know what? I take that back. I would buy a Ford Raptor if I was a construction dude just to be able to write it off.
So look, you bring up another good point. You have trucks that are way too big for the people that are driving them and for their use case. You can walk by, you look into the bed, there's not a scratch. There's no scratches. Nothing has ever been back there.
Rhino dipped.
Right. And then you step up from that and you have the Raptor and the TRX and all of these other high-end, the Shelbys.
Yeah.
Like people, is so much money spent on a purpose-built vehicle that is not doing its purpose. You don't need a Ford Raptor to go to Walmart.
Yeah.
You don't.
Not at all.
You don't even need a mall crawl.
Like, again, yeah, if you're taking it out and going to the dunes and going to, like, out off-roading and stuff
absolutely.
like that,
absolutely. If you're using it for that. But we live in Central Texas. Yeah. You're not doing that.
No. I've seen so many Raptors around here that have never seen a dirt puddle.
No.
Like, they haven't even driven through a puddle before around here. And it's insane. Even, go back to the Cybertruck, dude. Like, just unnecessary. Like, it's just an unnecessary car. I do want to go back to, before I lose my train of thought, about driving daily driving a pickup, right? I think it makes sense, again, if you're going into a hybrid situation. Like if you had, again,
more fuel efficient. Yeah,
more fuel efficient like the Maverick, where you could have 4 doors, 5 seats.
45 miles to the gallon.
45 miles to the gallon, and still have a pickup, and still have a bed.
Yeah.
That makes sense 100%. And I would love to have that situation.
But that bed like a Maverick or a Ranger is more utility and more friendly on the wallet, but also just they don't take up an entire lane on the road.
Yeah. If we're talking like lifted trucks that have a 10-inch lift with 45-inch tires and, again, the mud tires that have never seen a lick of mud.
No.
Yeah, waste of time. I telling you, man. So, funny story. I got to tell this story. I used to work at a gas station, right?
Right.
Valero down the street. And this guy, short dude, had to be probably in his mid-50s.
They're always short
They're
dudes.
always
The
short.
lifted trucks are always short dudes.
It's always
how do you get in them?
It's always...
Seriously, put it in the comments.
Let me
are
finish
there a
my
ladder?
story, because that's where I'm going.
I'm sorry.
I watched this man, and I'm telling you, these tires had to be probably 5 to 10 feet off the ground. Like, I don't know what it was, but it was enough where he couldn't reach the top of the tires.
3 inches bigger than him?
Dude, he was probably, I will say, he was probably like a 5'8", like real short dude. But the height of the tires were taller than he was. So this man had to rock climb the mud tires to get to the door, Dennis.
That is,
and like had to hop and grab. And listen, I'm telling you, if you have to hop in,
that's too much work to get in your car.
That's too much work to get in your car. And don't own the car.
No.
That is the most embarrassing thing I have ever seen. If you have to
not.
hop like a toddler into your widow pickup truck and your widow ladder and get into the truck. I can't. You're just making yourself look stupid, and I can't deal with that. It is always the short guys. It's always the short guys. It's always the short guys, and they own the biggest trucks because they got to flex that they're not short. Newsflash, you are.
Yeah.
And put it in the comments. I don't care.
Yeah,
comment your height. I'm a crisp 6 foot tall, and I'll measure and I'll put it on the internet, and I'll make sure everyone knows because I ain't afraid. You, sorry. But what do you're like 5'11". Yeah. So not the shortest tool in the shed. Still a tool. But again, like if you're 5'2", drive a BMW. The amount of money you put into that truck, and again, I'm also big on, and I'll say this right now, so all of you can just shut it down right now in the comments. I am big on buying what you like. I don't care. I don't judge what you want. It's fine. But if it's a chore to drive a car, don't do it. If a
ladder has to be involved.
If you have to get a ladder to get into your car, just let it go.
If you have back problems, maybe don't buy a Corvette.
If you have back problems, yeah. Like if you're 60 plus in jorts and you got the New Balances on from 1990, you shouldn't own a Corvette.
Yeah, the C8 is not for you.
I'm looking at all of you Corvette owners. All of you. Let it go. You're it's not even a midlife crisis at that point. You're beyond life crisis. Needs to just let it go. It's past time. Buy a SUV. If you want a Corvette, listen, I get it. Corvettes are cool looking, but you can get a SRT8 Durango or Jeep Grand Cherokee Hellcat that does just as much horsepower in a car you don't have to squat down into.
And to our previous conversation, all-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive. Dude, I would love a Durango SRT8 or like the Jeep.
I love the Durangos.
The Jeep Cherokee.
The Durango is a great-looking SUV.
It sounds so good too. I saw one the other day, like ripping down the street, all blacked out and everything. Yeah. They're so.
And the Hellcats, the Hellcat version of the Durango is amazing. The Trackhawks are amazing. I've ridden in a Trackhawk at full send. That was an amazing experience. But yeah, back to it. You don't need a truck as a daily.
No.
Unless you're actually going to use it for truck stuff. Seriously. Just stop.
And the asshole who parks in my neighborhood and you have a lifted truck and you park in the street and you take up 90% of the street,
stop
you're
it. Yeah, put it in the driveway.
You know what you're doing. If you have
a driveway, use the driveway.
You know what you're doing. I don't care if your wife has an Escalade or a Suburban that needs to park in the driveway. Park hers on the street. Because I'm tired of driving around you. It's annoying. Know your place. Seriously. If this is you, kill yourself.
Drink bleach.
Drink bleach, please.
Do us all a favor.
Do us all a favor. Did you see the picture?
I did.
Yeah. With the little wheels. With the wheels. With the wheels.
Okay. Are we good?
Yeah, I guess. I'm still a little fired up about it, but it's whatever.
Wait, hold on. Let's put the period on it right now. Also, and we'll discuss this more in depth in another video, the wide tires on trucks. The all chromed out wide tires that...
Did you just have a stroke?
I might have.
Oh, God.
But seriously,
your balls just dropped?
Maybe.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, son.
42 if they haven't done it already.
They shriveled up because it's cold.
It is cold out here. But no, the ultra wide tires, the chrome wheels with the spike lug nuts covers. Like, seriously, stop it.
Yeah. Also, let's just go ahead and I'll put this on that everyone can see.
Yeah.
If this is you,
stop it. Okay.
Stupid squats. I can't stand those stupid trucks. If you're squatting your truck like that, where you can't even see out of your hood, we're
going to touch on those on another video.
That's a whole nother video.
That's a whole nother conversation.
I can get strapped about those.
And look, I can go into the engineering aspect and the safety aspect of just how awful that is. All right, so moving on.
Yep.
You want to hit the news?
New to the news.
All right, let's jump into the news.
What's up with the news? What did we say last time?
What's new in the news?
What's new in the news?
So in the news this morning. So I just can't wait because I know you haven't seen this yet, and this is making me really excited.
Okay, hold on. There's something I wanted to bring up too, and if it's the same thing, I'm gonna be a little concerned.
All right, ready?
And maybe we were twins instead of being 13-year-old brothers. But if it's the same thing, I'll be creeped out and I'm walking out.
Acura RSX.
Oh, okay, yeah, no.
Okay,
that's not
sweet.
Where I was going. Okay,
so
good.
have
but
you
yes,
seen?
I have seen.
You seen the Acura RS, the hybrid?
Yeah.
What is it? No, it's an electric coupe. Yeah, they took the beautiful RSX from the late 90s, 2000s, gave it 4 doors, and basically turned it into a crossover. I have never, right here, Acura, me and you, I have never been so disappointed with you. This is a travesty.
Yeah, just
please
call
don't
it
make this
something
car.
else.
Call it, yeah. Put a different badge on it.
Why you gotta make it? Why? Ford Q2. You're not out of this either. I'm bringing it up. Why? The Mach-E, Mustang Mach-E, not a Mustang. Call it what it is. It's a Mach-E. If you want to call it a Mach-E, give it a fancy title. If you want to call it a Galaxy, whatever you want to call it. We didn't include that in our videos, did we? We cut that, didn't we?
No, it's in there.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
I maybe missed it. Anyways. Yeah, stop ruining the names that we all love because you want to slap it and use the branding on these stupid-looking cars. I thought you were going to bring it up. No, but I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I'll flash the picture up there.
It's awful. It looks.
All we have is
how it looks, but it doesn't have anything to do with an RXX.
I don't hate the way it looks. I hate that it's branded an RSX. Yeah. That is not an RSX. The RSX was a fantastic little 2-door coupe, kind of a mini hatch look to it. Came with a decent horsepower 4-cylinder VTEC engine. It was a great little car.
Yeah. That
is not an RSX.
On another note, though.
Okay.
I am excited they're bringing back the Integra.
I am excited for the Integra.
The Integra looks good.
The pictures I've seen, that does look good.
And then there was another one that they're bringing back from the 90s. Was it
Prelude?
It Acura or Prelude? It was the Prelude, yeah. I'm excited for the Prelude.
I'm excited for the Prelude.
I hope it's too... Have we seen photos of it?
I think there's been like some teaser renderings, but nothing that's been confirmed as far as I know.
Yeah, because I'm excited. I want to see that. I want to see if they do 2 doors or 4 doors. But yeah, I'm a little concerned they're going to go the same way that Honda did with the Integra, which again, there was a 2-door and 4-door Integra, right? Yeah. There's coupe and 4-door. So hopefully maybe we'll get a coupe. But I'm not holding my breath.
Actually, I like the new Integra. I wish there was a coupe option.
Yeah.
I would buy that.
I hope they do come out with a coupe option. Also, it better be more than 300 horsepower. Let's talk about the stupid Datsun that was rebranded as a damn Z that they tried to remake. And way overpriced. Let's just call it what it is. $60,000 for a coupe is stupid. Not going to pay for that. Second of all, I can go get a Toyota Supra that looks way cooler for half that, or not half that, but like $10K less than that brand new out the door. If I was going to get a used Toyota Supra, I could probably find one for less than
and half. Way more reliable.
More options. Like it's a BMW engine, so you can do pretty much whatever you want to it.
And you already called it. It looks way better.
It looks
that is
so
a
much
beautiful.
better.
The Supra is a beautiful car.
It is, and they did it really well. Good, and they thought it out. They used a lot of the old school designs from the original car. Yeah, but they ruined it.
We digest. All right, you had a topic?
I do have a topic. Are you ready? It's not very car related, but it is car related. I'm fairly excited about it.
I feel like this is going to be a stretch.
It always is. I'm a bit of a stretch and a flamboyant fucker, so it is what it is.
It is.
Tron 3 is coming out in 2025.
I saw that.
I'm very excited because I love a good neon light. Tron, what is it? Ares?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jared Leto?
With Jared Leto. I'm not a big fan of Jared Leto, but I am a big fan of...
well, that's because he ruined the Joker.
Oh, God, what is his last name from...
Levine?
No. from American Horror Story. He plays in. Oh God, it's Adam something. It's gonna drive me insane.
Sandler.
Sure.
Jackal? Jackal. It's a jackal.
It's Jackal.
Jackal?
Jackal. Is that a Jackal? If it would have been a Jackal the first time, I would have said it was Jackal.
Oh, I meant to bleep so many things out.
Yep, enjoy. That's what I'm here for. Just to make your life a living hell. Okay, maybe not. I thought he was in it. All right, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Anyways, Tron Ares. I'm very excited for it. I've been a huge fan of the Tron movies ever since I was a wee little lad and saw technically the second Tron. That came out like 2007, 2010, something like that.
Something like that.
But yeah, man. I don't think it has anything to do with cars in particular, but like, man,
light cycles,
dude. When that person made the real light cycle, I wanted that so bad.
So bad.
And like I know that came out like 2014, but like I remember him selling or seeing a YouTube video on that and him selling it for like $2 million. I was like, I would pay $2 million for that. Having your own light cycle driving around the city, like being able to like lay down, dude, that'd be so tight. But yeah, definitely very excited about it. Thoughts?
I'm excited to see it. I'm not excited about Jared Leto. Nobody ever is.
Nobody ever is.
Sorry, Jared.
Yeah, you lost me a long time ago, Jared, but every single time I see you, I just want to punch you in the face. Every time I see you, I just want to punch you in the face.
Yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, really in depth there, Dennis. Thanks.
Thank you.
Next time I have at least a conversation, but
I wasn't ready for movie reviews.
It's not a movie review per se, but like you can at least say you're excited.
I said I'm open.
We're gonna watch that movie, and I'm gonna make him review it.
Can we do it while driving?
Evan Peters, that's who I was thinking. Landmines, not Adam. Adam Driver, not who I was thinking of.
All right, we ready to wrap it?
Oh, Cameron Monaghan is going to be in it too.
Ooh,
yeah, you know who that is, right?
No.
It's the dude that plays Cal in all the Star Wars games. He plays a lot more stuff, and he's
only in 2 Star Wars games.
Yeah, he's in something that's recent, but yeah. Anyways, he's been in a lot of stuff.
All right, we ready to end this?
Yeah.
All right, I'm Dennis.
I'm Wes, and this has been Petrol Station. If you would, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Comment down below all your thoughts and opinions. We love seeing them. We love commenting and chatting with you guys and having opinions against you because it gives us something to do during the day when we're bored on the shitter. And then, if you have any questions, concerns, or ideas for videos, comment down below as well. Other than that, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.